Welcome everyone to episode 8 of the Microsector. How exciting is that? I reckon we should get a contract extension, definitely. I am Sean Muller, your host for this evening, and joining me is my co-host, the hostess with the mostest, the man who is very closely on his way to becoming a COD World Champion. It is the one and only Claude. Hello, sir.
Evening, Sean. You're full of shit. Evening, everybody in chat. All the listeners. Good to have you on.
And joining us... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No. Let's go.
All right. And joining us, we have two very special guests. The first special guest, you know his voice very well. He's some bloke from Tasmania. It is the one and only Lucas, a.k.a. the Good Doctor.
G'day, guys. How are we?
Hey,
Well,
mate,
how are you? You both excited?
I'm pretty pumped up to be on the Microsector tonight, guys.
Oh,
Ticking
wow.
off the thing on my to-do list now, so
You were
pretty pumped
yawning
up.
2 minutes ago, mate. Come on now.
And also joining us is the number one driver out of Lucky's Lawn Care Racing, the TO. He's a quiet man, but he drives very loud. It's the one and only Sam, a.k.a. Lucky. Good evening.
Good evening, gents, and thank you for having me tonight.
You are very...
Samuel.
Absolute thrill.
He's excited. I love that. He's excited.
Oh, I am on pumped.
I can hear excitement in the voice.
So, wow, we've got a lot to unpack this evening. It was already going to be a pretty big show, but there was also some news that might have a couple of you might have heard about, just snuck under the radar there. So we are going to have a chat about that as well. Something about a new console or something. I don't know, something like that.
I don't think anyone would be interested in that.
No, not really. So definitely that. But first things first, we might just quickly unpack a massive jam-packed round 6 Group A from Monza. Boy, oh boy. Where do we start?
I second that. Do we have to?
What a huge race that was. Probably two of the best races we have seen. I think all season, pretty close to it. The battles up the front were absolutely incredible. But before we go any further, big welcome to all our viewers. So we've got all the usuals in the house: One Ball, Tank Master, Brainache, Morgan Davey, Buffer, Brocky, D-Flow. D-Flow was actually the first to comment, so he wins another race. Of course he does. Aiden, Scotty, VLX. I wonder how VLX is feeling at the moment. It'd be interesting to see his thoughts. So yeah, where do we start?
At the beginning.
Let's start with Dayflow.
D-Flow? Well, what
Yeah.
can we say? What a race that was between himself, Karen, and Cruisin' in the end there, a.k.a. Goose. Yeah, really, pressure was on the whole race, but unfortunately, D-Flow got the win, which just gives him a little bit of an edge in the championship now. I think he's going to be very hard to chase down, and you must be a very happy team owner there, Sam.
Oh, yeah, mate. We're thrilled, and I've got to give credit to Nux for poaching D-Flow, and he's been the most awesome team member you could ever ask for. Like, some of the feedback he gives, the research he puts in, and he breaks down races to tenths of a second and percentages of fuel burn and stuff, and it's brilliant. He's been a great team member, and we're going to miss him.
Well, it sounds
One
like
of the little things about having successful BMW drivers, which we've had a couple at CP, so bring CP up so early, but it does hurt when you got to let
28
these
seconds,
guys...
Ghost.
New record when you got to let these guys go, because over a period of a season you've practice together and you build a relationship and things run smoothly. It's not so bad when you want to get rid of someone like we did with, say, Benny last season. That was fantastic. But when you've got somebody you actually like and appreciate, it does make it difficult.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, it's not like he's going far, guys. Come on.
No, well,
He's a
got
cut
his
above
own-
the flow.
he's got his own team, and hopefully things will work out and we can still support each other, and that was the plan. So, no, good luck to him, and let's hope he gets the championship.
I'll tell you what, though, not a bad effort. Comes in for a season, looks like he's going to win the BMW championship, then steps straight into Team Motor. Talk about a rise.
That's how you do it.
He is a scaife man, though, so I can see he's sort of...
Oh, it's a shame.
I could see his rise there. So
We all have our faults.
Dominated once again, and Maverick was one of the new community guys, was he?
no, Maverick, that's cruising.
Cruising.
Oh, okay.
He's had a name change.
I need to catch up on this. So
Yep. So we now call him Goose.
equals Goose, right?
Yep.
All right,
Womble says this fancy Ferrari driver sounds very intelligent. Brains are sexy. Wow, is it odd you did that bloke, isn't he?
Don't change Womble.
Just once we're on this turn, what was it again? What were we going to call them? First turn or corner one, turn one loser?
Turn one loser, yeah.
NASCAR again, mate. He's good at it. He's bloody good at it. I saw the replay this morning and he got caught wide into turn one and about 18 cars drove past him. And he got left behind again. He was just a little bit careful, a bit nice. I think he's been softened by the number of accidents he's happened and got a bit too defensive. But yeah, unfortunately, he was a big loser again into turn one. But credit to the BMW fellas. While it wasn't pretty watching them go 4 wide through it, they got through it, and there was care was taken, which was what we're looking for in that, particularly on that corner.
It's an absolute lottery at Monza, though, isn't it? You go outside, you go inside, and 9 times out of 10, you pick the wrong one. So.
That's exactly right.
Exactly, 100%. And moving on to S1 GT, powered by Aussie Hampton. Big shout out to Aussie Hampton and Revolution Race Gear and Auto One, our fantastic sponsors. Wow, what a race that was. Holy moly. DB and VLX absolutely throwing haymakers at each other. We do have some breaking news, though, and it is championship changing. I'm giving you the red hot tip. Due to some very, well, let's just say lack of penalty burns, DB has been disqualified from the round.
Reopens the whole championship.
Yep, and it actually puts Hijacker in the box seat. Mr. Invisible might actually win a championship. Then we can't forget him. Jeez, if we forget him after that.
No, we haven't. We've double checked and triple checked it. He's Mr. Visible now. We know where he is. It's all good.
What do you think of the race there, Lucas? Since you were
yeah, no, I was very impressed with the GT race, except for the penalty burn issues we had. Other than that, though, the racecraft was fantastic. The guys were swapping positions and running door handle to door handle with very minimal body contact. It's really, really good to see some nice close racing, and you can tell that the two guys at the front, DB and VLX, have raced together quite a bit in the past in FIA and such. So definitely a lot of respect there between those two guys. It was great to see post-race where they broke it down and said, yeah, no, great race, mate. That's what we look for, really. So it's really, really good to see. Shame that there was I think it ended up being 5 penalties for penalty burn into Szkoa. So Group B guys, if you're listening, make sure you burn your penalties properly.
Well, look, I think the potential for what the race was going to be was shown in qualifying, wasn't it? I mean, qualifying was amazing. Just shout out to Ricky Bobby, who pulled a season's best 3rd, I think it was, in qualifying.
Yeah.
And Diego Armando, he qualified 4th. And so a couple of guys, popping up in that top 4. But qualifying was fantastic to watch as well. It's just great racing all around.
Except for the poor Ferrari guys, are a bit far back at.
Oh yeah, and then on the stream I get rubbished for holding up a car when I'm on my flying lap. Come on, what's the go with that? Aren't I allowed to have a go at a fast lap?
Do you want an honest response or not?
I didn't know he was purple. I can't see that. All I know is that both of us struggled to get that last lap in.
We want
made
the
it
honest
with
response?
seconds. No, shut up. I'm talking. and I wish he'd caught me 200 metres earlier because it would have put me right up the grid. But unfortunately, the
answer is, mate, we love picking on you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It goes no further than that. Opportunity there.
To Scotty's credit, he apologised straight away in Discord and said, "Look, shouldn't have made the move," and because it ruined both our laps. And yeah, look, but hey.
God damn, I was going to name him 2nd grumpiest. I reckon you might be the grumpiest, mate. Knuckles, he's got nothing on you, mate. He's got nothing on you.
What can I say? It was a hard night for anyone in a Ferrari. I mean, I think we bat above our weight most weeks.
Is it a track thing?
When you're 300 horsepower down, yeah, you struggle.
300 horsepower.
Well, too many straight bits, not enough bendy bits at Monza. But
Okay.
I think we'll be better. We'll be better. Like when you're going into the season.
Where do we go from here? Where's the next round?
Bathurst and Monza was going to be hard, but Nürburgring, so that should be
okay.
right.
There we go. This should be a little bit more suitable. Just a slight disappointing sort of performance, Gazman. We love the Gazman.
Yeah, Gaz had
we always pump up the Gazman when he does well, but he had a bit of a shocker this week, and he'll be looking to bounce back. I don't know what his record would be like. If I did my research, I would have had a look and see how he goes at the next round. But at Nürburgring,
I think
the BMWs in general lack pace in Italy, though. So hopefully that's more of a car thing.
I think what we noticed at Monza is it was probably the track that really showed the difference in the different cars in the BOP. Really highlighted.
The big three was supreme.
Accentuated it.
Yeah, that's the word I was going. Accentuate.
Yeah. Accentuate. Yeah.
We couldn't stay with the car even in the slipstream. If we were 2 inches off them coming out of the Lesmos, we were half a second down going into Szkoa. So.
And were you making any time though through other sections of the track, or not really?
We were pretty good around Parabolica, no doubt, but it was pointless to try and overtake because you were quicker to stay behind.
And so that, I suppose, puts you into a minimise. What would you say? Minimise the damage sort of mentality for the entirety of the race. Just try not make mistakes.
You'd have to talk to Knuckles about that because I had a pretty lonely race. Yeah.
So yeah.
Both Ferrari boys are in the top group at the moment, are they?
Correct.
Yep. Now.
Doing all right. Yep.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about deflow.
Yeah, we did. So moving on to next weekend is Group B. So I tell you what, I've already called it. Group A was very clean pretty much through the first turn. Both BMW and S1 GT. I'm going to call it now. You can throw that completely out the window for Group B on Sunday. I reckon it's going to be on. It's going to be on. I am giving you the red hot tip. I can just feel it. I reckon we're going to have a spicy meatball. As a commentator, I love that stuff, so just send it.
I reckon they'll be fine. Just don't take the four wide option, mate. 2 wide's too many. Single file through there's fine. But yeah, I think they'll be okay.
So Sean, and Albo's out. Group B race. Who's your tip then?
For GT, good luck catching Troy.
Yeah.
I think V8 will be very hard to beat. Now, what he should do is not practice and just race. Because if he just races, he might actually get a good result. Because for some reason, he seems to practice awesome, sets Hollywood times throughout the week, and then gets to the race and it all falls in a complete bucket of shit. So if he doesn't practice and just races, he'll be fine.
Now, does he get to qualify?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the young fellow. Is he not racing Mountain Goat this week?
The goat. Yes, he is racing.
I think so.
The goat will be racing.
That'll be my pick.
But I still think Troy might win.
Billy the Kid's my pick for that one.
In BMW, where do we start? I think that HTM Sean bloke might be very hard to beat. So that actually
good livery on that car.
Oh, here we go. Yep, there we go. So yeah, the CJ Esports guys did actually get a full livery change as well. The Lexus has been updated as well, which is really cool. Which actually leads us, I think we get into some nitty-gritties of next season. What do you reckon, gentlemen?
Yeah, well...
Sure, why not?
We haven't had a points update yet for the current championships?
No, I was looking around and they are live on the website, guys. I was just I run out of screens and, pardon me, and I lost track of time today. So,
good.
So, drum roll. We can now release the Season 2 S1 GT grid list. Look to your screens now, and if you don't want it to be spoiled, please look away. There we go. So, Group A. Look, no real big surprises in there in Group A. Actually, no, there's no real surprises in there. So, that will be Group A for round 1. Group B, couple of surprises in there, I thought. V8's dropped down to Group B. He's had a pretty tough season, so we'll see how he goes in the Fezzer. He does have mid-rear experience. He loves the McLaren, he'll tell you that. And of course, Karen D-Flow cruising. I did this before he changed his name, but Goose, the Bad Doctor, Hard Soft returning. They all, of course, get upgraded because of their fantastic season in BMWs. This isn't based off who's better than who either, Brocky. It's not about that. Knuckles is sitting high and lucky.
Yeah,
the groups are
I should be higher.
No.
The groups are in no particular order.
4 times.
Yeah.
Brocky the 4 times hits in 4th. I don't think there's any major surprises there. V8 in Group B, not really, I suppose. The Bad Dog, maybe a slight surprise.
He's a dark horse.
And Scotty G holding his spot in A is a little surprising too, but that's all right.
Well, he's held his position there all season though, so he definitely deserves to be there. To be perfectly honest, he's been that guy that's been in A and since round 1 and punched his weight in there the whole round. It hasn't dropped down yet. So,
and as you know, those early few races will sort them out and they'll fall into the right.
They'll shuffle.
Anyway. That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's it as well. With them all being in the one car as well, so you can get all your excuses and throw them in the bin because they're gone.
I hear livery design and stuff's well advanced at this stage already.
Yeah,
I've seen
teams are well underway.
Yep, seen a few come out as well. So very much seeing a theme though in a couple of cars.
What, do we got a lot of red cars, do we?
No,
not red.
Not red.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, which is, I thought we'd see at least 2 or 3 red cars, especially the beautiful Scarlet Rossa. But no. So, yeah, surprising.
Speaking of liveries, while I've got the opportunity, I think Nux did a bang-on job with that 1000 GP Ferrari that we ran out at Monza. I thought it looked amazing.
He nailed it,
Yeah, it was good, and it was not. And thanks to the admin and that to let us run that for a one-off livery. That was good.
No, definitely it popped in the sun as well. Yeah, it looked absolutely magnificent. So well done, Knuckles. Congratulations, you've done well.
Well, there we go. There, the Group A, Group B.
Yeah, there we
Screen
go.
grab that, TOs.
Solid drivers across the board.
I will, of course, post it in Discord, guys, so you don't have to. Okay, moving on to the BMW grid. There we go. So there's some big surprises here and a couple of things we need to unpack with this one.
We're just going to wait for it to catch up. We're going to wait for the stream.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll pretend we can see it.
I can see it. Well, I can see it. I can go to Discord and have a look at it.
So basically the top half of Group A is the guys that have been there. They've made their bed. They know what they're all about. Couple of guys that have popped in. So Tank Masters won. Basically, we did a test race last night.
We did.
And I actually came from last to 5th, just saying. And Tank Master pretty much pulled down our pants and spanked us.
He did. Tank Master put the car on pole and then led away and then won by 15 seconds.
Wow.
So he is a force to be reckoned with, ladies and gentlemen. So get an eye on him. Second position in the race last night was Captain Muffin.
Oh,
he had a
hang on.
good race as well.
I forgot to change that. Sorry, Jim Bob. Yes, you are in Group B, and Captain Muffin is in Group A. I forgot to change that. That is my bad. Just to reiterate, Captain Muffin is in Group A. Jim Bob is in Group B. Yeah, I got that wrong. My bad. Sorry. But that's not a big deal.
We allow one per year, mate.
Thanks, mate. Mighty Mo drops back to the BMWs. He's already my dark horse. I've already approached the S1 bookmakers to put a cheeky 50 on him. I reckon he's going to be one to watch, very much so.
And Axel as well was the other one to drop down.
Yes.
In P3 Group A there.
Shies is back for a season, which is fantastic news. Awesome to hear he's back.
The young lad.
Yep.
He's pumped.
He drove well last night as well. He had a couple of incidents, but you can definitely see he's getting his flow back, which is great. Group B, wow, look at this. This is almost the OG group. So you got the Moth, you got Filthy, you got Excalibur, you've got yourself
Brewski.
there, Claude. Brewski.
Yep.
Flat stick.
And Streetle Juice. Have fun.
Well, that stick followed by a giggle. Love that.
CP penalties, he'll be there.
Yes, will be well represented. Debrief. Yeah.
I think even more so than the GT group, the BMW group will shuffle quite a bit in the first couple of rounds.
I think so.
There's a little bit of movement going to happen there, I'd say.
There's a few down there, isn't there?
We've put the guys in what we would consider as best as we possibly could to keep the grids as close as we can. Obviously, there might be a couple little shifts here and there, but hopefully the guys have some really, really tight racing. BMW this season's already proved that it can run in a pack for most of the race, so hopefully we've got the right guys in the right group this time round, and we have some good racing.
Definitely looking forward to seeing how this all plays out very much so. So I guess you guys probably want to know where he's going to be racing, eh?
Yeah, well, the schedule.
Because
Let's have a look.
if you
Where are we going?
Special
We're going-
Soldier Dex
Yeah.
for 6 rounds. We're going to do one in reverse, though.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. There's our track list. So, wow.
Interesting. Wow.
Can't say that.
No, never.
Can we?
What? 7 races of brands? What?
Yeah, and I'm not racing. How does that work?
And one in Nürburgring, full distance. Yeah.
So round 1 will be at Yamagawa, Group A. So our season will start on the 1st of November, 2020. Round 2, we head to the beautiful Brands Hatch. Round 3, a fan favourite, Maggie West.
Yes.
Let's go.
Round 4 at Interlagos.
Yes. Welcome back.
Yeah. Round 5, this is probably the only reason I'm really spewing. I'm not driving. We are heading back to St. Croix B.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm happy I'm not driving. I love that track, but I can't wait to commentate it. On miles.
Yeah, it's got some great corner names: Alpe d'Huez, Bordeaux, Dom Perignon, Croissant.
Can we do it backwards?
No.
Yeah, nah.
I know, we're going the right way.
Yeah. And we finish off at Monza because, well, Ferrari, Monza. Yep.
Yeah, but Nux, they're all Ferraris this time, so you won't
That's
fall
right.
behind.
That's right.
They're all going to be 300 horsepower down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sort of working, guys.
You watched
Shout
the
out,
Bop
just
update.
quietly.
You just before Monza. Just before Monza, the Ferrari will go to 600
4-minute
horsepower.
Shout out to the boys making these graphics. They look fantastic.
They do.
Oh, wow, look at getting some reactions here. So VLX is stoked about St. Croix, not so stoked about Maggie. Pruski 3 wide, yes. St. Croix 3 wide, who could forget?
Yeah, through Bordeaux.
Yeah, and who can also forget the big one at St. Croix?
Oh, I remember that now, yeah. That gives me nightmares.
But all in all, pretty exciting season. I think the best thing about this season, or the upcoming seasons, these tracks really provide great racing. Throughout all the seasons I've commentated, every single one of these tracks I can name a fantastic race.
Absolutely.
So that's was sort of the thinking behind it.
Look, yeah, we listened to you guys too, though. You guys were saying we want some of the original tracks back, want some of the fictional tracks back. So we split it down the middle, 3 real, 3 pretend, and hopefully everyone's happy with that.
Now we are having a break, of course, over at Chrissy. so Santa can give us some presents. Actually, I've hit my quota for presents for the year, so no presents for me. But we will be having a special event weekend as well, like we did this season. Now, if you did tune in the other week, you heard it was the E30 M3 around Szkoa for 60 minutes, which is going to be so in that Soda Wars style, which is going to be very cool. I now will reveal the second special event. I finally got my way, ladies and gentlemen. We are going Group C racing around the full Nürburgring. So it'll be...
Mate. Well done.
Thank you. It will be Group C cars, not the Nissan though. The Nissan will not be allowed to compete. A couple of reasons. One, it is OP as hell in BOP spec, and also it didn't race at Le Mans, so it doesn't count. So it will be the Porsche, it will be the Sauber, it will be the 787B and the Jaguar around the Nürburgring for 90 minutes, which is going to be
excited,
pretty
mate.
cool. Very excited.
Very. About 4.5 laps.
Time of days will be coming, Bishop. Jeez, listen to them.
They're keen, aren't they? Start practicing already.
Yeah.
Couple rounds ago yet.
Time of day.
Scotty Gibbs.
Nice, I love it.
A Nissan OP, are you sure?
This one doesn't have an SR20 and it's okay.
Now, controversial. Time of day means sweet bugger all, but that's just me. Moving on very quickly. So,
You know
yeah.
where it does matter? You know where it does matter, Sean?
Where's that?
And I found this out in my last race.
Braking
Just
markers?
lighting.
Oh,
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah.
You look better under a certain light? Or?
Yeah, no light.
No light.
In the dark. All right, anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, very exciting. So, guys, if you got any long questions, please fire them into the Discord, and admin will be sure to answer as many as possible. If you got any quick ones you want to quickly jam out now that won't take us 35 minutes to unpack, we'll give you 3 minutes before we move on to our hot topic for this evening. Yes, so very exciting.
Well, I'm liking that schedule. It's the first time I've seen it. It's they're all tracks I think we all basically enjoy racing at. And the return of some we haven't seen for a little while. Maggie, always exciting. Some of the best races I think we've ever had have been at Maggie.
Yeah, probably my
Never
best
will
ever
forget
drive. Is it Maggie?
Season-ending Group A race we had there, where it all boiled down to the last lap and all that.
Brainak.
So yeah.
Who is the oldest racer in Sector 1? Ooh, is it Moff or Shizer? It's one of those two.
It's one of those two.
One of those two.
Yeah.
Superfly, is it only going to be one
How
tyre
are they?
option for Group C? Yes, it is. We're going to keep it simple. I did quite a bit of testing the other day. And basically, just found that changing tyres and that, no, let's just keep it one. Morgan, who won the first ever through house race? Ooh, Jesus.
Wardo, I think.
I'd go Wardo.
I think it was Wardo, but
I
I'm
think
not
it was
100%
Wardo.
sure.
In that yellow
Wardo, then,
B&H BMW, wasn't it?
I think so. But he was Cruisen's teammate still.
Would have been at Bathurst.
Yes.
Oh, did he win? I don't think he won that race, did he? Because he ran out of fuel, didn't he? Missed the pit entry.
No, that
Got
was the
reset.
end. That was the end of the season.
Yeah, right.
Because,
the first ever was
he had to
just a
finish
random,
fourth.
It was just a random Bathurst one.
Could have
which I
been
didn't race
tarmac.
in.
Probably
Yeah.
was tarmac.
Let's
Yeah.
go with Terry.
Probably was Terry. In that way overpowered GTR. So, just having a look there. Looks like no other questions. So we can move on to our hot topic. I thought of this mainly because Le Mans was coming up on the weekend, and it's going to be Le Mans with no crowds, and it's just going to be strange to watch, without all the crowds around the Ferris wheel, and you see the smoke coming from the barbecues as they head down Mulsanne. Just really adds to the flavour of Le Mans. Basically, what I was thinking about was how is COVID going to affect motorsport in the short term and long term, and sort of it's definitely affected in the short term, as we know. I think the earliest or the biggest indication we got here in Australia was when 23 Red Racing folded, and Paul Will Davidson got kicked out of a drive, and James Courtney, because he sucks up Boost's ass, got a drive. But anyway, I won't go any further into that because I might get myself in trouble. And then over in Europe, you saw was Black Falcon, who are a massive AMG GT3 team, very successful team as well. Unfortunately, had to fold just due to sponsors and not being able to maintain a race program. And we also saw the rise of sim racing as well, with a lot of the categories when we were in all full lockdown and there was no sport going on to the sim side of things. And is that going to be something that continues in the future? Maybe to look for drivers as well. With, I think, a lot of sports, and especially motorsport, will now have to look at how they spend money and how they manage their money to keep motorsport viable in the future. So that's sort of my thinking, and just like to hear people's thoughts. And
I did a little bit of research into all this. I thought it's an interesting topic, and one of the after I typed in long-term effects of COVID on motorsport, one of the responses I got was a PDF file which you had to pay $4,950 for in order to be able to download it and see what was on there. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Don't care that much. But yeah, looking at other sort of the other ones you got through, the ones you're mentioning there, Sean, are the key ones, which is obviously with the financial pressures that COVID has brought on to small, mid, and large-sized businesses. How are these teams going to go about finding sponsorship? How is that whole sponsorship relationship between racing teams and business going to be changed? Because it won't be the same as it was. None of it will be the same as it was. Traditionally, particularly in the elite racing events, you find that a lot of the promotional and the marketing is held behind events, all these glamorous events where you've got sponsors and big wigs all hanging out and drinking piss and giving away money and all that. None of that can happen while COVID is around, or while the effects of COVID are being felt. So the money obviously then starts to shrink. Manufacturers, whether they want to keep investing the sort of dollars that you see invested or have seen invested into elite racing, will we see the dropping out of some of the second tier manufacturers, engine suppliers from some of the top tiers, and with the main points? But the biggest thing I kept seeing is, what is the purpose of motorsport going forwards post-COVID? And one of the ones that kept coming up is, does it become a something where they get behind things like climate change and all these sort of issues that become, but how do they stay relevant? What is the purpose of motorsport in a post-COVID sort of world? Esports, I reckon COVID came 15 years too early for esports. Unfortunately, the focus from normal racing to esports was massive. It was crazy, wasn't it? And for us, it was a trip out because, we play this game for fun, and then all of a sudden it's all over the TV, and Foxtel's got 6 different esports bloody channels on, and we're thinking, what is going on here? But the technology's still not there to convince the masses, and that's the basis of it. You're watching even the V8 series they run on Foxtel, cars disappearing in the pits and all sorts of weird shit happening, Gran Turismo races, lobbies crash, and all this sort of shit. So it's still not at a stage where the masses look at it and go, well, they will look at it and go, holy shit, how good is that? Not enough sort of pulling power behind it yet. If it had happened in 15 years, God knows where we would where it would have left the esports side of things. But yeah, so they were the sort of points that I picked up in my little sort of little bit of investigation.
Wow. Well, you see what happens when you do research?
Yeah, I know. I should try doing more of it every once in a while.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
No, you picked up on one point there, the environmental stuff, and I think that's going to be a real challenge for motorsport moving forward, because I think it already was.
Yeah.
And now people will be counting their beans a little bit more, and will we invest in this and will we invest in that, and it'll come down to a look. Do we want our company to be represented in that fashion? Do we want to be supporting something that's, you know, perceived to be environmentally unclean or whatever? So I think that will be a big issue, and I think COVID will have accelerated that as far as motorsport's concerned. So they're going to have to be really careful how they market. And, like, I mean, I know the V8s say that we're running ethanol fuel or whatever, and you've got the Grand Prix and stuff, and I think more of that's going to come about. But hopefully it doesn't mean more hybrid lawnmower sounding engines at Albert Park in March.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to be a real challenge moving forward for motorsport, is to find its spot now environmentally.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were going to say something there, Lucas. Yeah, I thought you were building up.
I was sort of sitting on it thinking, I think, at least initially, motorsport will find a massive resurgence in popularity.
Yeah.
Most sports will, I think, ball sports especially, stadium sports. Once the doors are open and you can get in and go back and do it, everyone will remember what they loved about it and want to go back and feel that again. So you'll see a lot of things selling out, you know, stadiums packed, tracks packed, people there with their families and stuff. It's going to be what we're sort of aiming for post-COVID, when everybody can get out and about again. You'll see a lot of that sort of thing, I think. In the medium to long term, I think it'll be a bubble that'll burst. And once people have done it and over it, that'll be it. And then it'll go back to we need to figure out our long-term solution here, because this isn't going to sustain itself.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you're saying before with the environment and thinking on their feet when it comes to how they're going to portray themselves into the future. Obviously, you don't want to be a polluting car racing racing thing in a modern world, because people aren't going to put up with that anymore.
Well, if you have a look, Rallycross, they're going electric. It's on YouTube, actually. Ken Block actually drove the first electric Rallycross car. It actually sounds kind of cool in a weird way. It's like very devilish, and it screams, and it's got a bucket load of power. So I think with motorsport, though, when it goes electric and things like that, I think the biggest thing we're all worried about is the noise, because we do watch motorsport with our ears. It's an old saying. And like Formula E, if you actually get over the fact that it's electric, the racing is fantastic. It really is really good racing. It's hard. They'll throw it down the inside, but just that sound is just something that it's really hard to get over.
Yeah.
Well, I think the overall answer to the question anyway is that motorsport won't be immune to the pressures that will be felt by every single business, sporting, of any size. We're all going to experience. It's going to be tough, and particularly right up that top end, I think, is where it's going to be felt more. Where they're so used to the excess. That'll be the interesting one. And obviously, you look at Formula One.
Williams just got sold, didn't it?
And see where that leaves, something like Formula One, and what that's going to look like in 5 years' time. Could be quite interesting. It could be for the betterment of the sport. Who knows?
I just want to read this point that Superfly put up, because it's a really good point. Basically said, I think an effect scene that will continue was drivers moving to Twitch for sim racing. Suddenly drivers had an accessible and relatable platform for fans to watch them in a much more relaxed light. Well, some drivers. That will flow onto the way drivers present themselves and the way characters are presented in the media. It's a very good point.
James brings that up, because that was a point that I didn't raise, that I did read about, and that was the shift of focus being from cars to drivers, where all of a sudden you get into this scenario of draft, draft night of drivers into competitions with a new young gun. Where is he going to go? And the focus shifts to the personality. Hopefully, drivers with personalities and
please.
Both of them.
yeah. That's an angle, where the cars are there, but they're secondary to the guys that are steering them, and if the focus becomes more the driver, well then you've got something, which doesn't involve money, or is as money focused as what it is when it's just purely about lap time and speed. So it'd be interesting.
Well, that's a good that's a bit off topic, but yeah, drivers with personality, like. Thank God for Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo in Formula One.
Just sportsmen with personalities, mate. It's it goes beyond motorsport, but
just in general, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but then again, is it the drivers, or is it the drivers and what they're controlled by? The bodies, this could go on forever. Let's make it another topic for next week.
Yeah, I think it is a good topic, definitely, because
the lack of sportsman personalities.
Personalities in general, yeah, 100%.
But exciting for next season anyway to see Lando and Danny Rick head to head in the same team hanging. Yep.
But yeah, my biggest worry with motorsport in terms of COVID is not the grassroots level; it's that gentleman racer level. So, the guys that have money and would go GT racing and that. But now, because of COVID's hit, they've all got to put their focus back into their businesses and that like that. And we're going to see reduced grids on a GT kind of level. That's my biggest concern. And also these young drivers, finding the money to make it to the big time is going to be a lot more difficult. So they've got to be smarter in how they market themselves and how they promote themselves, basically, because you can have all the talent in the world, but to make it to say F1, you
need the money.
You need the money, unfortunately, which sucks, but it's just the way it is, Mark Webber wouldn't have made it to F1 without Yellow Pages. So yeah, it's just it's a very interesting time, and it's definitely something we'll be keeping an eye on because as the world slowly starts to open up, well. Depends on which part of the world you are, but Australia, we're starting to open up. Super 2, I believe, are racing at Bathurst, I read today, which is good, which is really good, actually, because I enjoy Super 2 racing. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's great.
Yeah, they're going to crown a champion.
Yeah.
They're only going to have, 4 races or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah.
And biggest thing is, let's hopefully get a bloody F1 GP next year.
Well, my prediction on that that they'll run it after Suzuka. So I'm predicting November, December for that.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I've had no word on that, but that's just my gut feel that the Australian Grand Prix Corporation will say, well, hey, we want to host it, but we're not ready to, so let's put us in the end of the season. Yeah.
Yep. I think what a great way to end the season in Australia, really. But they won't do it because that's not where the money is. They'll go to bloody Abu Dhabi oil land.
Yeah, well, Adelaide always used to be last.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a great end of the season. But no.
Until they realised there was no money in it.
Yeah. Let's go to a racetrack in a place who's got the personality of a cardboard box.
Where we do figure of eights around
in the car park.
Oil rigs.
Yeah.
That said, though, Adelaide's put their hand up for the Grand Prix again.
They have, trying to steal our Grand Prix.
They do every year.
I got 2 words for them. Piss off.
Is it a better track?
No. In my
the
opinion,
Bend?
no. The Bend? Definitely
because
not.
Melbourne as an F1 track sucks.
I disagree.
I hate it.
I think it's a fantastic track. It's bumpy. It's got character. It's got... The turn 10 and 11 complex is epic watching an F1 car through there.
Snore.
Anyway. And it's...
There's a metal grate.
There's a metal grate, a very famous metal grate, yes.
Won't be there. Won't be there. It's gone.
We'll find it.
All right.
There's another topic of conversation, guys, which we need to get onto, and that's going to chew up a bit of time. So I think we need to move on. Which is
Claude's our
something
director, as
called-
you can tell.
Oh, just every once in a while. Which is called a Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, number
PlayStation
5, I believe.
5 or something like that.
Are they making another one? God.
Yeah, I know.
This one's meant to be a little bit better than the previous one.
Oh, bollocks.
I don't know if any of the guys in chat managed to catch any of the reveal, which included reveal of price point. Anybody remember what the Xbox was to be priced at? Off the top of their heads?
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a big Xbox fan, so I'm all over that.
No, but so anyway, PlayStation 5 looking at what was it, $749, so $750 for the one with the drive in it, and then the digital one. What were they asking for that?
$599.
$600 for it. So reasonably priced. I think it was what we were kind of all expecting. It would be. Maybe even slightly less than what we thought it would
sorry,
be.
$499. That's right. Thank you, Brocky. I was at the Xbox
$499.
price. That's the Xbox price. Yeah, $499.
Xbox price.
But that's for the crappy one.
Yeah, but they've got a low spec one, don't they? Xbox.
Yeah.
That they're releasing.
Okay.
They're
So,
going a different way.
In chat,
They're
if you
releasing
could,
a low
if you
spec.
could, if you could give us a me who's actually pre-purchased a PS5 already.
Me.
I didn't. I've got patience. I can wait.
No,
No,
I feel you're going to need a new TV to go with it. But so
Well-
it's a massive investment.
Well, not yet. So, because it will be 8K compatible, but let's be honest, games are not going to come out in 8K for a while yet. Some of the specs are very interesting, though. So, basically, they're looking to run at 4K at 120 frames per second.
Wow.
But 60 looks like it will be the benchmark in terms of the minimum. So, they have to run at 60 frames per second, 4K. Also, it's got a lot of teraflops, whatever they are, and some other stuff, and it does some other stuff. I'm sure Brocky's going to fly in here with more specs than we can package to get. So
with more flops.
yeah, with more flops. Probably for me though, the biggest disappointment: nothing about GT7.
Yes, that's a little bit concerning. Which I think I raised with Lucas earlier tonight, and he's like, "Oh, it's all right, it'll come." I mean, just relax demean a bit. Yeah, not having seen it not having seen it listed with the rest of those games that they showed there. Yeah, a little bit concerning. We might be waiting a few months, maybe. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it comes out, but
Yeah, it wouldn't be Gran Turismo if it wasn't delayed.
Exactly, 100%. Well, it could be also that they didn't want to just, Kaz being
Repeat.
Kaz.
or repeat what they'd shown already in the previous sort of one,
and
you know,
have the
there's
whole
always that.
and have the whole have the whole stage to themselves. So basically saying GT7 is coming, but there's nothing else around it. Like there's not Spider-Man or bloody the other couple of games they showed. Even though the Harry Potter or the Hogwarts game looks amazing. Not my kind of thing, but it looks fantastic.
Oh, the level they've taken this sort of the graphic side of things to now with these consoles is ridiculous.
Was there a Call of Duty teaser for PS5?
There
Yes,
was, mate.
Black Ops.
Yes, there was. It was there, so that's exciting.
I was at work, so I only watched bits and pieces of the
Yeah,
the
Mason
show, so I didn't really.
and Woods are back, which is very cool. If you're a Black Ops fan like I am and believe that Black Ops is better than Modern Warfare, then yeah, you're very exciting. And zombies will be back. Woohoo! Love zombies. Great fun. Brocky says it's got 2.5 to 3 times more graphics performance than the PS4 Pro. There you go. Cool.
Yeah, well, I think from a specs point of view, this new system, even the PC guys are a little bit sort of impressed as to what's under the hood of these bloody new consoles. Man, it's a big leap. It's a giant leap forwards. And keen as hell. We don't know. There might be some brand new racing game that comes out and knocks our socks off.
Yep.
We never know.
You never know. It might not be a Gran Turismo. It could be something else. But the technology is there now to take a big leap forwards from what has been an amazingly good game for us, which is Gran Turismo. But yeah, excited to see what happens.
Well, we've always maintained the thought process that if a better solution comes forward than what GT can provide, then we will shift. Like we're not anchored to GT for any other reason other than it's the best possible platform that we can race on at the moment in the way that we do our broadcasting and everything.
I think if we were straight up honest with ourselves, the reason why we play GT Sport is twofold. First one is, and the most important one is that visually it presents itself better than any other game that was up against it. So you couldn't do what we do with just looking at these images of the cars, being able to slap on these liveries and take the shots that we take and the photos, all of that stuff is a GT Sport thing. And the second one, obviously, is the ability to... It's not the most difficult game to drive, and it opens the window for people of all levels to play. And that's why we're able to do a Group A, a Group B, a Group C, and a Group D, because, there's the ability for all different abilities to play the game. So it's going to take a bloody good game to be able to do all of those things.
And the ability to broadcast it.
Absolutely.
In a good way, like...
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing from my end, sort of. As much as I love Assetto Corsa Competizione, the broadcast side of it is, well, straight up poo. It's horrible. So, and it just, you can't, there's no point putting on these beautiful liveries on and, getting all that if you can't broadcast it properly. So,
do you think there's any intention from Polyphony to continue with this World Series that was happening at one point? Obviously COVID's taken care of that, but such a big thing for a while there, wasn't it? Which makes you think that maybe there will be continued sort of gearing of the game towards presentation of the game on a screen, which is what they're basically doing with all that World Series stuff. Getting everybody together, putting it on a big screen and having a happy crowd there cheering it along. Hopefully it's something that remains a focus of the game, because that's the main point of difference. These other games, Assetto Corsa, that's not a focus. They're there to provide a sim driving experience to the guy behind the wheel, where Gran Turismo's got that dual focus thing going on. Bit of fun playing the game, but you can also watch the game, which is hopefully something that continues to happen.
I think it will. I think once this bat disease goes away and the world opens up, I think I think with the PS5 as well, they'll be very keen to sort of showcase that in a big stadium environment.
Crossing fingers, crossing toes.
With Jimmy Broadbent and that other bloke that they use, he's bloody useless.
They were onto something there, weren't they? Yeah,
definitely. So if you look for a commentator, Kaz, and you're listening, I'm available.
I think they'll continue that because, before, if you remember, before GT Sport came out, it was one of their big selling points that there was this FIA affiliated championships was going to happen.
Yep.
And I think that was a big driving force. They obviously spent some coin of their own to get that. So,
if they don't, then Lewis will wear a t-shirt. So. I can't help myself. He's the big man. He's the maestro, on the game. So, you got to remember those things. But yeah, with that exciting news with the PS5, and GT7, please, Kaz, come on. And we're reading the specs, and it really does open up possibilities for us at Sector 1 if we get what we want. Which is bigger grids, which is an updated livery editor, which is decals that don't have to be under 15 kb.
Easier streaming.
Or a proper broadcast mode is what I want. Yeah. So basically, I can play with all different camera angles. I can have a proper totem pole. I can have a race director to have the ability to actually direct the race properly.
Yeah. Be great to be able to put the yellow flag out and put a penalty on a car, and you click on a car and put a 5-second penalty on it.
Give Brocky a penalty because we can.
Through communications,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just be able to control the race live. That way it will take less stress off the post-race stuff as well, which would be really good.
Absolutely. In-league function so that it keeps all our tables for us, all of our points, all of that sort of stuff would be
VLX.
fantastic.
Oh, Tom Brooks is awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. He's okay. He's just not as good as me.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Not as loud as you.
No one's as loud as me. Live stewarding. Nice. I just want to cover. Yeah, very. There, James. Live stewarding would be really cool. 100%. It would make our jobs a lot easier. Well, not my job, but top. All right. Yeah, all right. Oh, first I just want to ask Lucas a couple of questions. Yep. So you may have read a couple of weeks ago that the good doctor, the two-time Bathurst champ, is hanging up the helmet. Yes. Next season he'll be putting the helmet up and settling down into the comfy chair that is the box. So I just want to sort of ask him, why? What brought the decision?
Why so crazy?
Nah, look, I was sitting down thinking about it, and to be perfectly honest, I actually get more enjoyment out of Sector 1 on the admin side of it, on the creating the liveries and the calling of the races and all this stuff. When you see the teams now get behind their drivers and put up social media, I love seeing all that sort of stuff. And the more time I spend on the bits that I was really enjoying, the less time I was spending practicing. So you can see it in the results as we go through the season. I'm slowly slipping further and further down the grid, and I don't have the desire to go any faster. I don't want to buy. I don't have a rig or a wheel or anything. I still use a DS4, and I sit there going, I don't particularly want to buy one either, to be honest. I just don't have the time or the want to. All that, yeah.
Wow. Hey, Womble, who smacked your ass last night, mate? You held me up for what, 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Basically, I sat down and had to think about it, and I actually find more joy in Sector 1 as a whole than I do of just driving myself. So I'd rather give someone that's actually keen to want to drive. And we got to bring in 4 new guys for next season.
Yep.
Which I'm really excited about. So it's good to see.
That, and I think I was pretty keen to follow a similar sort of path as yours. Is it something that you think would turn and reignite once the new game's out?
Maybe.
I'm assuming you're going to want to steer in the new game.
Maybe. I don't know. Obviously I'll buy it and I'll muck around on it and that too. But I haven't made a decision what I'm going to do post season 2.
Yep.
I might come back for a steer. I might not. If I might have a whole season next season and really enjoy the other side of it and think I don't need any more from this than what I'm getting now, so I might not want to drive at all.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked seeing the guys that are really keen. So
if you're really missing it, you've always got community series you can jump into.
Exactly.
And if you're not jumping into community series, well, the bug's not there.
Exactly. I'll have a steer in the M3 at Szkoa for the special event.
Yep.
But yeah, so
and until then,
I reckon I will jump into community. But
I'm assuming you're going to probably just continue focusing 110% on stealing CP drivers post-season.
Yeah, pretty much. We're going to work on that.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That's a good direction.
Yeah, look, I want to put more effort into running my team and helping steer Sector 1 a bit more full time because we're onto a really good thing here, guys, and I want to keep this moving forward. And I think I can do more if I'm not, driving around in circles 3 or 4 nights a week trying to go faster than I can on a DS4 anyway. So I'm never going to be. I think I'm pretty much at my skill ceiling anyway on the DS4. I don't think I can go any faster regardless. So I'd rather see some of these new guys jump in and really take it to the guys that have been around for a while and see some close racing.
Without revealing too much, mate, as long as the honesty's there and you are genuinely enjoying the other side of it, mate, I'd probably speak on behalf of the rest of Sector 1, the drivers, the community, and say, well, thank you very much for doing that because it picks up a massive workload that needs to happen behind the scenes that As always at Sector 1, it's probably been our biggest problem is having the manpower behind making it all work and function. So appreciate you sort of doing that.
No worries.
Yeah.
And what that means for you guys is you get the A team in the box for every race.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, by the way. You know, things we do.
Without him, it'd just be the B.
Yeah. You got any retirement news there, Lucky? Anything you want to drop on us? Or
Any news?
yeah, anything you want to talk about your team or anything you want to discuss?
Oh, are we allowed to announce things?
We'll allow it.
Oh,
If
you're
you want
allowed.
to. The list is received, so you're allowed to recruit now.
Oh, well, yep. So
Go for it.
No, first of all, it's been a good year for LLCR.
Has.
I think we're kind of near the pointy end in the combined team championships. I would have liked to have seen that table tonight, but never mind. But it's good to have Grassy's on board. G'day, mate. If you're out there, Giggy, listening. Like, he's been a friend of ours for many years now, and,
okay.
and we finally convinced him to go and do a community drive, and he did all right, and he got a drive, and then in his first round he got a podium, so we were thrilled about
Good
that.
on him. And so is he a stern sort of fella?
Is he a stern sort of fella?
Yeah.
No, I reckon he's pretty relaxed.
Is he?
He's a Queenslander.
Enough said.
Loves his fishing and
Good man, love him already.
loves his slow cooking. So no, he's a good bloke. A lot of time for him, and he's up and about because he's a Brisbane Lions fan. So good on you,
And
Giggy.
so he's what's he been locked into? Group A BMW, has he? Or
Yeah, I
BMW?
saw
Yep.
he was in Group A, which
Yep,
I don't know.
beautiful.
We might have to talk to admin about that. But on the back of one race, he's been put in Group A. But no, he'll hold his own up there. He'll be alright. But no, it's been a good season, and obviously D-Flow's been fantastic for us. Like I mentioned earlier, like the work he's put in behind the scenes to help Popsy before, and now Grassy's, and also Nux and myself, like the research he does. So
Awesome.
So we do. He's started his own team, but he is a sister team. So we're still going to be sharing information and helping each other out. We're going to compete on the track, obviously, but we're going to help each other out off the track, which is fantastic. And
Is there a team name for his team already?
Your
yeah,
TBA.
there was. Yeah, TBA.
No,
yeah.
he's got a name, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah.
TBA.
TB announced.
We're
TB announced
allowing
racing
for a big
team.
reveal. Yep.
No, that's up to D-Flow to announce that. But no,
Yeah.
no, he does have a name, and no, it'll be good. And the cars, then the decals and stuff so far that I've seen are looking good. I'm not sure where he's going with recruiting drivers.
Recruiting. Yep.
But I think we've landed a new one to replace him. So we're pretty happy to announce that Mr.
Grassy's.
No, Grassy's is already there, but
Yep, another.
yes. So and I think he was put in Group A, was he not? Good dog.
Yes, he was.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So Lachlan Cowie, the Tank Master.
Oh, right on.
Okay,
So,
right.
Good recruit.
That's a big pull.
Yeah, so we're planning on being the Gary Rogers of Sector 1.
And
So we're going to recruit all these guns who are going to leave us after one season.
So you mentioned that the Gary Rogers of Sector 1. So who wears the dress? You or Knuckles?
I'm Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
No.
And so
It's
what
good to
do
have
we-
him on board. He's a young fella. He's quick as, and we really look forward to working with him. And
did it take much to get him over the line?
oh, look, that's not my department. As the TO, I just handball all of that to the number 2. And nah, he did all the groundwork on that, like he did same with D-Flow, so that's good. It's a hobby of his, so good luck to him. He does it well. So no.
There you go.
Moving up, bigger and better things, I think, and
Good stuff. Yep.
I'm not sure how long I'll stay in Group A in the GT side of things, but I'm enjoying it while I'm there. And I don't know, maybe next season when we're all in the Fezzer, I might get a couple of good results. Let's see how we go.
You'll be right.
Well, that's there you go. I'm not answering that question, Morgan, because I'll probably get myself into trouble. Moving right along, so top fives. Top fives. Here we go. So something exciting. We've gone different again this week. So we've gone top 5 TV shows. Now these are all personal opinions.
What?
Oh God. TV shows, Claude.
I kid.
Now, what's really cool is 3 of us have visual aids for ours, and one doesn't. So, Claude,
Yes.
since you don't, you can go first.
Beautiful. So I thought at first it was top 5 TV shows based on books.
Oh.
When I found out there was only 2 of them that I liked, I thought, fuck that, just go for top 5. So one of the ones that was based on a book is Dexter, and here's my fifth. Dexter is an awesome show.
Good show.
If you haven't watched Dexter, watch Dexter, and it'll give you a manual as to how to become a very successful serial killer, how to do it and get away with it.
And how to fry an egg.
Yes. Number 4, I'm going to poach off somebody who's coming later because they reminded me of it, and that's Spartacus. Spartacus, great show. It was so good. It just glorified everything. Bit of violence, bit of sex, bit of everything. It just had a bit of everything on it. Fantastic show. If you haven't seen Spartacus, jump on. I think it's a Foxtel one. Is it Foxtel?
Netflix. I think.
Netflix. And then I had to play around with my top 3 because I couldn't make my mind up. But Entourage coming in 3rd. Entourage, great show. Tough to beat. There's been shows since then that have been trying to emulate what they did, but Entourage is the 3rd. 2nd, I had Breaking Bad. Sorry, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Let's go with that. Let's just go with that. Breaking Bad 2nd, and Game of Thrones was my 2nd, but let's just say it's 1st. I'm not usually into Game of Thrones style shows, but that was just too well done. I couldn't not like it. So it is what it is. So that's my top 5 TV shows of all time.
Before we move on to the next one,
nothing old.
Got a couple of guys that have flown in. D-Flow goes Top Gear number 1, The Sopranos number 2, Burn Notice 3.
What have I done? I just finished watching it for the 5th time.
Prison Break number 4 and Money Heist number 5.
Dexter sucks.
Brocky comes in
Sopranos, guys.
with Miami Vice number 1, Police Rescue number 2, Water Rats number 3, The Goldbergs number 4, and A Touch of Frost number 5.
Come on, Brocky, where's Blue Healers?
Morgan, I'll read out your top 4, Morgan. So number 1, he's got Sector 1 Sim Racing. Suck.
Good stuff.
2, Supercars. 3, Top Gear. And 4, Judge Judy. The people are real. The cases are real. So,
I'm not familiar with that hub one he's got at 5.
yeah, never heard of that. Yeah. All right, so next with his visual aid is Lucky AKSR, and he actually went a different way, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, so when you first put this to me, guys, and I thought, well, how the hell do you distinguish your top 5 TV shows of all time? So what I did is I broke it down as to the age I was, and being so excited about coming home from school or work or whatever, depending on what age, to watch a show. And so number 5 is my youngest memory of being super excited.
Awesome.
To come home and watch TV.
Bugs Bunny.
It is Bugs Bunny. Oh. And more specifically when it was hosted by Sophie Lee.
Oh, yes.
You're a young fella.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm almost 46. So so coming home to watch Bugs Bunny, and that's, by the way, it's the only show that it was not a weekly show of my top 5 at the time.
Good call.
Bugs Bunny was just awesome for me. I loved coming home from school and having an after-school snack and sitting down and having half an hour of just fun. So Bugs Bunny, and in particular, if you haven't seen the Three Little Bops cartoon, where the Three Little Pigs are a jazz band.
Oh, yeah.
By all means, just watch that, please. At number 2, I believe I had The Simpsons. Oh, number 4, sorry. I had The Simpsons.
Yep.
Yes. So again, I think, like, sort of early high school, maybe grade 6, year 7, that sort of time when it was on Sunday nights at about 7 o'clock. You couldn't miss it, because if you missed it, Monday at school was hell. You were just out of the loop, and so I just had to come home and watch The Simpsons, and particularly early, I thought it was a fantastic show. And yep, number 3, The Late Show.
Oh.
Which, as far as Australian comedy goes, I don't think anything's ever got near The Late Show.
I'd agree with that.
The Degeneration, Shit Scared. What was the bear called again? Shirty.
But look at
the slightly aggressive bear.
Look at the names there. You got Mick Malloy, Tony Martin, Santo Cialaro, Judith Lucy, legends of Australian comedy.
Yeah, Jane Kennedy, Rob Stish in the end. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was just brilliant.
Rob Stish.
And then a bit later on, and I was tossing up because I'm a bit of a sci-fi sort of guy, and X-Files almost got in.
I've never heard of Heroes.
Heroes, the first 2 seasons is well worth a look.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's on Amazon, I think. If you've got that, you can check it out. But the first 2 seasons are absolutely brilliant. Season 3 is just okay, and then by about season 4 and 5, it got a bit weird. And then it got canned, and then they rehashed it about 5-6 years later, and it just flopped. But Heroes, the first couple seasons.
Have you been watching any of this The Boys?
No.
On Amazon? I'm just wondering whether it's down similar sort of lines.
No, it's a show about a group of people that find out that they've all got special abilities, and they all sort of come together. Yeah.
Jump on the Boys on Amazon Prime as well.
I'll write that down. And then number 1, Game of Thrones. I mean, for mine, it changed TV experience. The season that the season that didn't happen, and when we had to wait a whole extra year for the last season, well, yeah.
See, I did Game of Thrones in 6 weeks. I'd never got into it. Until I thought, let's check it out. And
I missed the first 2 seasons.
8 seasons.
No, it was just brilliant. It had everything. It had a great story, it had great characters, it had a little bit of tit and ass, or a little bit more than tit and ass. And, a bit of sci-fi, fantasy, sort of, and dragons, and, it just had everything. So.
Get on it, Spartacus, if you haven't watched it, mate. It's a predecessor to the idea of plenty of TNA and a good story and good characters. Well worth watching.
Yeah, no, so that's my top 5. There's a lot of shows that I could have put in there.
Fella died. Oh.
But, like I said, it's in age. It's the youngest.
I like how you've done it.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very well done.
It works.
And I think, come on, The Simpsons. If there's a person that doesn't like The Simpsons, well, I don't think we can associate with them in Sector 1 anymore.
Well, I don't like The Simpsons now.
Not now, but the earlier stuff was definitely brilliant.
I can still sit down and watch the old shit, but current Simpsons?
My favourite episode's the James Bond spoof one with the hammocks.
I know exactly which one of the Warner Brothers is. That's the one where the was it the coyote or what playing
Wiley.
The trumpet? He's the devil and he's fucking going down.
Yeah. Got to get hot to play real cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the good doc. There we go.
So mine's obviously going a little bit of a different direction. 4 of personal favourites of mine, and one's in there as a special mention just because of how it all went down for me. But starting at number 5, we have Parenthood. Bit of a drama. I don't mind a bit of a drama every now and again, but I did watch this with my my late partner Tanya. We watched the whole 7 seasons about 3 times, I think.
Parenthood.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that one sort of hit home quite hard, really, because there was a family in it with the same sort of situation that we were in. So one of those shows that you sort of watch and you laugh and cry and laugh and cry and laugh and cry, and then the credits come on, you go, oh, one more, and then it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Number 4, Spartacus, obviously. Claude touched on it.
Mm-hmm. So
one
main
of those-
character in Spartacus.
Yep.
You know the story, obviously.
Yeah. He's a Thecian and gets captured by the Romans after they double cross him, and gets chucked in as a gladiator, and basically spends the whole season trying to get his wife back, who's also been put into slavery. But basically, it's just following him as a sort of, if you like, the movie Gladiator. This is like a more violent, less Russell Crowe version of that.
I was getting at the fact that the first 2 seasons, I think you were mentioning there, were the lead character who plays Spartacus, I think would have been a British guy, and he was
First season, yeah, just the
freaking
first season.
amazing, yeah.
And the fella in the
unfortunately,
picture there,
fella
he
got-
is,
got cancer, passed away, and was replaced, I think, by an Aussie actor post that first season, which was a bit of a downer, but the series still continued to be a good series.
Yeah. They first season 1 was based around this fella here, and then season 2 they threw back to the characters you meet throughout the season, but previous to him being there.
Yeah.
And then seasons 3 and 4, I believe, went back to this guy here in the aftermath of what happens in season 1. And I think it started to slide a little bit by season 3, but season 1 especially was amazing. I think I've watched it about 3 or 4 times now, all the way through.
Yeah.
Number 3, The Last Ship. Relatively newish sort of
Never heard of it.
TV show.
I watched a couple of times. I couldn't get into it.
It's one of those shows, I think. It's one of those ones that you either get into or you don't. Basically, the premise is the last ship. So this Arleigh Burke-class destroyer is sent up to the Arctic to do some training missions, in inverted commas. And while they're up there doing training missions, the entire world goes into a pandemic, and 80% of the population of the world dies, and countries all collapse, and basically they have to find the cure, and they're shipping around there, and they can't land anywhere because everyone's infected. And
So it's called 2020.
What's that on, mate?
Stan. That one's actually on at the moment, I think.
Okay.
So they predicted 2020, really?
Basically, yeah, it's quite eerie to watch it these days because we're in the middle of a real pandemic, and it's sort of along the same sort of lines. Basically, what could possibly go wrong? It's what went wrong.
Yeah, there's a line in the show they say the bombers suck, so yeah, they got 2020 spot on.
Oh, Melbourne, because Melbourne is so much better there.
Had to get it in.
Number 2, Black Sails. This was my top 2 were very, very half-metre split. Black Sails is one of the greatest TV shows ever made. Started out on the Stars Network. So did Spartacus, actually. They both started out on the Stars Network and got picked up by bigger networks. Black Sails is the story of Treasure Island before it became Treasure Island, basically. So it's about Nassau and the pirates down in the Caribbean.
All right.
And
Writing all that
5 seasons of just start to finish awesomeness. Nothing goes wrong in 5 seasons. It's amazing. And it finishes itself off perfectly well. So it's one of those seasons that you can watch it a couple of times and it's completely fulfilling, which is awesome. Or special effects too. Pirates are awesome as well. So when you got big practical sets of pirate ships and really, really good explosions and particle stuff, it's really, really cool to watch. So definitely jump on that one, guys. And number 1, Band of Brothers, for me, changed the TV show in a sense of a scale that we've never seen in TV before, and up until recent titles like Game of Thrones, we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
It was basically just a movie that went for 8 weeks. And also it spawned The Pacific as well, which is also, it's not quite at the same level as Band of Brothers, but it's also very, very good.
Was cool in that it tapped into the Aussie side of things a little bit too?
Yeah, it was. It just didn't quite follow along. But if you haven't watched it, you need to experience it. Obviously, myself from my Polish background, some of the parts of it were very heavy hitting for me, with a lot of that part of it, that part of the world at that time of the of our civilization, unfortunately. But for me, it was the benchmark
Great
TV show.
Fantastic show.
You can't go past it for depth.
Hanks had something to do with that, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they come off the back of Saving Private Ryan and decided to do it again, and they basically went around the Easy Company and said, "Yep, this is a good story. Let's jump on this." And
Well, it covered some big battles as well, like Battle of the Bulge.
did. Yep.
Which is a very famous battle.
I like the fact that it didn't sugarcoat it and it didn't treat them like heroes. It basically said, okay, we dropped them in here, this is what's stuffed up, this guy did this guy did that. They did make some inaccuracies, and they have been well documented. I won't spoil it for everybody. Unless you want to look for it, then obviously go ahead, but I won't spoil it for people. I'll let you know what they are.
I pretty much took it for what it was. Yeah, okay.
But they are talking about, there's another one that pre-COVID was actually getting greenlit to be produced, a third episode,
Series.
if you will, of that series. So Band of Brothers, The Pacific, and then this next one was going to be called The Mighty Eighth, and it was based around bomber crews in B-17s and stuff. So they're going to go down that route as well. So both Spielberg and Hanks have signed on for that as well. So hopefully, post-COVID world, we get another big budget, special effects, all that sort of thing. So hopefully, cross fingers.
Very good.
Oh, very good top
We'll
five.
watch them.
All right. Well, I better do mine, I suppose. All right.
Yes.
So my top five, I basically went on shows that I can turn on, even though I've seen a season or I've seen an episode, and still watch it no problem. That's sort of how I base it. Number 5 is CSI Miami. I love CSI, but CSI Miami is the best one. Horatio Caine is the best TV cop in all of TV. His one-liners are legendary. And the glasses move. Love the glasses move.
Wow, man.
Yeah, love CSI Miami. Great show. It was really, really popular too in the mid-2000s. So, yeah, really, I think is better than the original CSI personally. Number 4 is the greatest Australian TV drama ever. I'm happy to say it. Wentworth is simply amazing. Basically, if you're a bit younger, you might not know, but if you're sort of my age or older, it's basically a rehash of the old Prisoner, but done in a modern style. Yeah, very cool show. Really sort of pretty hardcore as well, so it's pretty raw, and it's got some fantastic actors and actresses in it as well. Number 3, Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Sons of Anarchy. That's all I really need to say about it.
Mate, I've not seen 4 of these.
Really?
So, yeah, they're all news to me. Yeah, well, Wentworth, I know there was recently a release of season 2 or something, or a new or return of Wentworth, is that correct?
We're
Which
actually
has
up to
been
season
hyped up.
7 of
Yeah,
Wentworth
okay,
now.
but not what I'm getting at is that it's a return that people weren't expecting?
Yes.
Or no?
Yeah. So, basically the Freak... the Freak, who's Ferguson and Amy, she's returned. When we didn't see it, no one saw her coming. Sons of Anarchy, look, it's in that sort of big sort of production style. Yes, it glorified bikies, and yes, I know all that other stuff, but it's still a good show. It's got good writing, it's got twists, it's got turns, it's violent, it's got tits, it's got ass, it's got everything. Number 2, Entourage, like Claude, what a show. Simply what a show.
Piven, is that his name?
Yes, Ari is a god.
Ari God. Probably top 3 characters on TV ever.
Him
Ari
and
God.
Johnny Drama are just,
Oh, Johnny, of course.
yeah,
but
just great. But Ari's scenes, if you haven't watched it, just go watch Ari's scenes. They're fantastic. He's just brilliant. Great show. Ballers was one that was made by the same guys.
made by the same guys, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
So Mark Wahlberg and those guys made Ballers as well.
Yeah, of course.
Which starred The Rock. That unfortunately got cancelled after 5 seasons, which was a shame. But that's a very good show. It's more in the style of NFL Player Manager, which is really
Sporting
cool.
management, yeah.
Yep. But number 1, it's Strike Back. It's, for me, it's everything that I love in a TV
Never heard
show.
of it. Aussie, American,
So it's British.
British.
So it's a bit of a weird one. So season 1 was brought out and was a standalone season, 6 episodes, top of my head. And then they had a break, and then Cinemax got involved with it. And basically, they brought it back. The 2 main characters you see on screen there, that's Scott and Stonebridge. Basically, it's about a section of the British military, British intelligence, called Section 20. And they do full-on black ops, covert ops. Brilliantly written, great action, tits and ass. One of the best TV soundtracks I've ever heard. It's just a really addictive show, and if you like that sort of military-style drama, I can highly recommend it. And it's got a bucket load of action. Every episode feels like a short movie, basically. I love it. I've watched it, I think, 3 times now. It just finished up for good this year. The last season, of course, stars Australia's Daniel McPherson. He's in it as well. It's on Foxtel. If you got Foxtel, you can definitely check it out. But Strike Back, definitely my favourite TV show.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, the deck
Work CP into the conversation again.
Yeah.
Honourable mention. I've got an honourable mention.
Yep.
Ozarks.
Ozarks? Oh, yeah.
Yep, Ozarks. Good to see old mate Jason Bateman recover from, what was it? Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah.
Not much good, he did.
Superfly says there's been no love for South Park so far.
It was on my.
Yeah.
It was just on their periphery.
It's hard to. I don't know. I find it hard to put in those half an hour, like sitcoms as well. I just find them. Because I don't feel you're fully invested in a sitcom.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I love 2.5 Men. It's one of my favourite shows. Yeah, I could watch 2.5 Men all the time. But you're not invested in it. Where shows like me and Lucas at the moment watch a show called Billions.
The Epics.
Yeah. And we're invested in Billions, you know. We can't wait for the next episode. Stuff you, COVID.
Okay, so don't jump on the boys, okay, if you're a little bit worried about the connotation there. Fire up Amazon Prime and click on the boys and watch it. You might enjoy it. Cool.
Burn notice, yeah, it's good. Prusky, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is very cool. Yep, I agree with that. Funny. Yeah. Weeds. Yeah, I didn't mind Weeds. I wasn't fully in love with it.
Seasons of Weeds was okay. Yeah, don't think I followed it all the way through. Remember
Prusky, Power Rangers, Deadliest Catch, Breaking Bad, Street Outlaws, Agro's Cartoon Connection.
Aggro.
Oh, yes. Tanya.
Especially the cutscenes.
Yes, Anne Marie, that's right. That was her name. Yeah. Scotty says The Mandalorian was heaps good too. Yeah, season 2, I believe, has been announced. Mm-hmm. Which is very cool. Jan,
anyone else watch Orphan Black? It's on Stan. Anyone seen that?
No,
I haven't seen it. I've got Stan, but I've looked at it, but I haven't watched it.
Orphan Black's about clones. It's well worth it. Yep. Good show.
Very cool.
What I did watch 2 days ago, which I'd recommend, and you've all probably already seen it, was the Aussie cricket team documentary.
Oh, the Test.
Oh, the Test is brilliant.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Well worth watching.
Yeah. It's on Foxtel now. Did you see that?
Oh,
is it?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it was on tonight.
Okay.
It was on 501, so yeah.
Yeah, no.
So if you're into your
really
cricket,
good.
even if you're not, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, Test was
well
very
worth
good.
it. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I love those sports kind of things. I love
Documentaries.
Yeah, sort of those getting behind the scenes sort of. Yeah. So the NFL do it every year. They go to different teams during training camp. It's really cool, sort of how they do. I love how ESPN and American sports do that side of things. They do it a lot better than Australia does. But the Test was maybe a insight into other sports how they can do it.
Was the Test it was a PR exercise?
It was.
You know, it was time to try to recover from the old ball tampering issues, but it was well done. You know, it was well done.
Yeah, but they didn't sugarcoat it. You know, they could have
No,
made
no,
them
no,
out
no,
to
no,
look
no.
like
They went
could
about
have
it the
made
right
them to
way.
look like
Absolutely.
good guys, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're, you know, so
No.
Or
Went
But the
about
other
it the
one,
right
I mean,
way.
when
Drive to Survive's another one like that.
Yeah.
You know, on Netflix. That's good. That's good fun.
when Collage went at it with Justin Lang, I was like, whoa, okay.
And where is he now?
Yeah, exactly. Drive to Survive, yeah. Season 1 was great. Gunther. It's all about
my
Gunther.
door.
And what I felt though with season 2 is they knew the cameras were there
Yeah.
in a way. You've got to be careful with sort of those kind of documentaries, especially if they're successful.
They've got to be convincing, don't they?
Yeah.
As soon as you pick up on that fact that, you know, they're aware of cameras or whatever, it's easy to start to lose the grip it's got on you. And I found that with that documentary. The second season, you just knew they were playing to the cameras a bit, and you were like, it's not quite as honest. Honesty is important.
Definitely. Well,
we've got an hour and a half plus.
Yep, we've done well. We've ticked everything off, which is great. So, better get into some thank yous. So, a big thank you goes to Sam, a.k.a. Lucky. What a guy.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
You've done,
thanks for having me.
You've done a really great job. So, you've earned yourself a box of cheesels. Well done, sir.
I look forward to sharing those cheesels at the Grand Prix.
Oh, very much so. We're going to be hooking into those cheesels, don't you, worry. Thanks for the good doc.
Can I make one quick announcement?
Yeah. All right.
We did run a comp, and we stopped running the comp. The comp's back next week. Next Microsector.
Okay. Yes, the comp is back next Microsector.
We'll have a return Microsector.
Yep. So we'll find something for you guys to do to win something, because
we'll
we don't
come
just
up
give
with
away stuff. No, you've got to earn it. Thanks for the good doc.
Yes. Thanks for
As
coming on,
always, mate. You're a legend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Good to have a chat.
Good fun.
Yeah, it was. Thank you to Claude.
Thanks, mate.
A double thank you. Thank you for doing some research. That was well done, mate.
No, always do the research.
All over it.
I felt underprepared.
That's the plan, mate. Come through underprepared. Provide a gem.
Also, a big thank you to you guys, the viewers, you guys in chat. You are amazing as always. You really was really engaged tonight, which is really cool. We had some great conversations and some topics that everyone has some different opinions on. Can have different opinions, but as long as we do it respectfully, that's what it's all about. Ghost, what would Paul Heyman do? That's a wrestling thing. What would Paul Heyman do? That's a good point. Get the beast, unleash the beast. Anyway, I'm going off track. Join us on Sunday for Group B, round 6 from Monza, which should be an absolute rip snorter. It will be myself, Germana, and NASCAR bringing you all the action, live and free from 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to calling all the action there. But other than that, stay safe, everyone. Look after yourselves. Be kind to each other. And we'll speak to you all on Sunday. You've been watching and listening to The Microsector.